Welcome, family. Peace. Assalamu alaikum. Free the land. All power to the people. As Brother Mutulu used to say, forward ever, backward never. How y'all this evening? Okay, listen, African family. You know that we're here, African family, new African family. You know that we are here to do a memorial, but in our tradition, we are here to raise Baba Sekou's spirit. So we do that with enthusiasm, joy, celebration, because knowing our brother, our father, our Baba Sekou, he is still here with us, trying to protect us, trying to make sure that we're good, trying to make sure that we're defended, but we need to let him know that we got him and it's okay to go dance and light with the ancestors. So how are we doing, family? I'm Brother Jamal Joseph.
And I'm Aiyisha T. Obafemi. Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The form will be, as we're moving from different sections of speakers, and I'm speaking to our speakers as well, we will be calling people to the stage 3 at a time. So we ask that you make your way to the stage, and then you'll take turns at the podium making your remarks. We want to thank Brother Kevin Matthews and the whole Schomburg staff. I want to do that up top, not at the end. Let's give him a round of applause.
There is a representative from the mosque here. He's right there.
Okay. And we do have to have the house empty by 9 o'clock. All right? Not getting ready to go, but we have to do it. So we do ask that our speakers keep it to a real 3 minutes in terms of your remarks. And with that,
we'll have Brother Mikhail DeVoe, Dr. Mikhail DeVoe, from the Mosque of Islamic Brotherhood with the prayer.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We generally begin often Muslims with the recitation of Surat al-Fatiha, and then I'll just have a few words after that. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. And so we began by seeking refuge in the creator of all things, Allah Ta'ala, from the cursed devil, the shaitan. Again, in the name of Allah Ta'ala, who is excessively compassionate and extremely merciful. Indeed, all the praise and the thanks belongs to Allah, who is excessively compassionate and extremely merciful, and the master of the day of judgment. It is He alone who we worship and serve, and we ask Him to guide us along the Sirat al-Mustaqim, and not to leave us alone for those who have gone astray or those whom He has cursed. And to that we say, Ameen. And so I'm here on behalf of the Mosque of Islamic Brotherhood. Our brother Sekou, Baba, was a congregant there. I'm representing our Imam Al-Hajj Talib Abdul Rashid. And we are forever thankful to Allah Ta'ala for this moment to honor, as we said, our brother Baba Seiku Odinga. We ask that Allah Ta'ala reward him with Jannah and put light in his grave. Imam Talib sends his regrets. Many of you know, some don't know, that Imam Talib is currently in a rehab facility recovering from some personal issues that he has currently experiencing. But Baba Sekou worshiped regularly at the Mosque of Islamic Brotherhood since the moment that he was released from captivity He is first and foremost our brother in faith. He is our elder. He is our esteemed warrior. He was our example of what a revolutionary person should be. I personally have had an experience with our Baba. He was my elder, and all these things that we've already said applied to me personally as well. But we ask Allah Ta'ala to accept our brother's life, to accept his life as an offering, to accept his life of steadfastness, to accept his life as sacrifice, to accept his life as an act of martyrdom. And so we would just close again by asking Allah Ta'ala to continue his struggle in those of us that are here, the struggle for freedom, the struggle for justice, the struggle for equality, the struggle for our people. And we will close with this prayer, asking that Allah Ta'ala forgive him, forgive all of us, raise his rank, raise all of our rank among those who are guided, among those who are cared for, among those that he has left behind. Again, we ask Allah Ta'ala to forgive us, to forgive him, O Lord of all the worlds, to expand his grave and to provide for him the light that should guide him to the next light. And to that we say, Ameen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And thank you for allowing me to make this presentation.
Black Panther veteran sister, Aiyisha Obafemi will do libation.
What we gonna pour to this plant here? Good afternoon, all. I am Ohima, which means Queen Mother, of Harriet Tubman City, Baltimore. I was also ordained as an Akan priest in Ghana, West Africa, and I did my training there. And I'm here to pour libation. Libation is like a prayer, but what it is doing, it is calling the Almighty Creator in all forms that we know and speak of, and those that don't. We don't speak of, but it's so that we are asking the Almighty to come and witness this honoring that we're doing for our comrade brother. The Abasuns and deities. Abasuns are Ghanaian names for lower spirits that help and assist, that are picked by the Almighty Creator. And deities are a Yoruba term for the same properties. So I'll use some Akan names and some Yoruba names. After I have asked them to come, I will say, please come, and then I ask them to have a drink with us. And that's why I will be pouring the water. And then after that, what I'd like for everybody to do is to call their ancestors, call our Panther comrades who have crossed over, you know, and good family members, and ask them to come join us and witness that we are trying to practice what was our traditional religion from the motherland in all its different forms, and we don't discriminate, and we don't point and say, this is so wrong, this is so bad, this is not the way to do it. We know that however we, in our hearts and spirit, are guided to be able to communicate with the Almighty Great Creator, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how we do that. And we will do that. And our ancestors that have crossed over and those whose shoulders we stand on, we also want to call them because we owe them a great debt for all that they've done to bring us to this point. And by us gathering here and practicing this tradition in its forms is telling them that we appreciate the lessons that you left us, the gateway that you opened for us, and we have never forgot, and that we are proud to go forward. And we will teach our family members to be proud and go forward. So pouring libation is calling the spirits and asking them, come witness this. This is a wonderful affair. Our comrade, Seiku Odinga, has done great work while he was here and led the way and taught and became such a great important part of our families and left us such a legacy and a way to go that we want them to know we learned the lesson and we're going forward and we're carrying forth that message and that information. So after I call the deities, like I said, I will ask them to drink with us. But when I say let's call your ancestors and let's call those whose shoulders we stand on, shout out, feel no shame in saying and calling your family members and those that you remember, that we know did the work. Odamakoma, Nana Sasiya. Nana Sasiya is the earth. That's what we call Mother Earth. Her day is Thursday. Odamakoma, Oyankompom, in the Akan language, is the great almighty creator and all the power and strength. And
She's on the other mic.
deities in the Akan are Boto, Kankambia, Mosi, Nana Surjabi, Dadia Kofi, and in Yoruba, you have Oshun, Ogun, you have Osi, and you have many others. Now, what I'd like for you to do, because I'm asking them to drink with us, so I say, Jensen, no, please come join us and drink with us and partake in this program and let us show you that we appreciate all that you have done for us. So now you can start calling on your ancestors. Ashe. Ashe-o. Ashe. Ashe-o. Ashe. Ashe-o. Come and drink with us. Ashe. Ashe, Ao. Safia Bakari. Janice Earl. Patrice Lumumba. I can't hear you. I know you know more. You know more in your family. Just your family. Call your family. Call your grandparents and your parents that have served you well. We are now coming to a close, and we're asking the Almighty to give us strength. Give us strength in our minds and our bodies to do what it is that we were sent here to do and purpose, and to understand what our purpose is. We ask for prosperity. We ask for good living, and we ask for safety and protection. And so many of us that have traveled from so far, we also ask for safe journey in this travel in our returning home. And we are honoring Seiku Odinga, one of the greatest warriors. And
In his own words, is that the
all I can say is that he and all the other warriors that have crossed over, they are looking for us to pick up the baton and keep it going.
Okay, now we will have the Jaguar Warrior dance performed by my brother, Chief Koichito Shakur Pushmataha Kofi Suniali.
I'll wait till the kids come up.
praise him, seek his help, and ask his forgiveness. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. He alone deserves worship. And I bear witness that Muhammad ibn Abdullah is his last prophet and slave servant. Assalamu alaikum. Peace, free the land. My name is Seiku Abdullah Odinga. I am a Muslim, New African prisoner of war, and I am extremely honored by this work of art in support of me and all political prisoners. I'm really thankful to all of you who have taken part in making this CD, alhamdulillah, particularly those who work tirelessly to bring together all the artists and others who have helped to make this the great success that it is. I especially want to thank the love of my life, my lovely wife, Dequi, and our brother, comrade, and friend, Norman Coward, Mgobozi, whose idea and hard work this CD brings from. Someone asked me, what war was I a prisoner of war from? My answer is the War of African Survival that began when the first African was captured and kidnapped from the shores of Africa to be free or cheap labor for Europeans. The war that became a war of national liberation for new African people, a struggle for land and independence. The Chinese leader Chairman Mao once said that politics was war without bloodshed, and that war was politics with bloodshed. Well, the politics of slavery always had bloodshed. Slavery survived as long as it did, mainly because of bloodshed. The blood of new African slaves. So that is the war I was a soldier in. But most of our people did not and do not want war. Nor was we or are we ready for war, even though war has continued to be waged upon us since that first African was kidnapped. I think what we first need is a cultural revolution. One of the criteria for a successful war of national liberation is unity. As a people, we are not unified, and cultural revolution should teach us who we are as a people and unify us around the concept that we are a people, a captive nation of people. Once unified, we can then decide if we want to be free and independent nation of people, or if we want to continue to struggle to be part of our captors nation, the U.S. Ultimately, I believe that for us to survive racist America, we will have to become an independent nation governed by new African people. Again, let me thank everyone who made this CD what it is. I love you. Free the land.
Now we will have Liza Jessie Peterson with a presentation.
Peace and blessings, family. Do I have permission from the elders to speak? It is a great honor to be here celebrating Baba Sekou. And I first met Baba Sekou, it was not too long after he came home, and his beautiful wife brought him to see my one-woman show, The Peculiar Patriot, up at the National Black Theater in Harlem. I did not know that he was coming. I did not know what night she was coming to the play, and I just so happened to be wearing that night my Black Panther Party t-shirt, and so when we took a picture, I had the t-shirt, and it was not planned, it was God planned. And then after that, Sekou and his wife came to a very small gathering in Brooklyn to see 2 of my short films. It's about 40 people gathered. And then not too long after that, he came to a screening of another short film that was at the Tribeca Film Festival, and he brought with him Baba Herman Bell and Baba Sundiata. And so Baba Sekou has always been supportive of my work. He gave me his stamp of approval, which has been the greatest validation any artist could ever ask for. So I thought it was appropriate to share this piece in tribute and honor of Baba, called Black Love Manifesto, because he loved black people. Blue, black, brown, baby, buckshot, shorty rock, melanated Prince King, kissed by the sun, with your solar blessed skin sculpted like a god, master crafted in my womb, first womb, ancient womb, safe and sacred womb, African fertile soil, black gold, diamond oil, mineral rich. Mama me, ashi, I, we stirred you up good, boy. You, potent, powerful, wonder, warrior of the world. You, who always had the planet head nodding to your beat, got the globe axis leaning and tilted like your hat. Call it black swag, black cool, cat daddy funky blues, rock jazz juke joint, sugar shack sanctified, negroid crunk type of, stank funk type of, monster 808 on the microphone check, 1 2 1 2 type of, boom to the bap, the boom bap. Soulful genius encoded in your DNA, divine nappy archives coiled in your hair. The creator's rhythm love child and natural heir to planet rock as poetry somersaults out your mouth. Your slang is slung around the world. What you say, how you say it. What you wear, how you wear it. How you do it, urban haiku it. It's showtime. Olympic ghetto gymnastics, double black back flip into it, a one-handed handstand pop lock Harlem shake into a Ron DeJean pirouette in shell toe Adidas on crowded moving subway cars to Brooklyn, world-class concrete symphonies, underground ballet for $1 donation. You was born with it, baby. And effortless magic. A planetary humanitarian gift you have given the world to uplift rhythmless people from offbeat purgatory. You who have been blessed with magic tones, sacred sound, cosmic frequency, and a spirit so thick its medicine healed us, carried us, lifted us, lit our path through dark days over troubled waters, became our golden guide rail we clung to while navigating grotesque madness. Middle Passage, American plantation terrorists, real life, Freddy Krueger, all day, all nightmares. You, me, we spoke different languages, we had different tongues, but with one anointed spirit and the holy drum, we loved and created more and more magic because we are our own antidote. And no matter how many of them study your magic, grow more human from it, package and sell it, proclaim themselves black spurts on it, critique it, define it, make millions off of it, feed their children's children from it, finally realizing the liberating power of it and pay you to poison it with a parade of your pathology, rewarding hungry, tattooed minstrels to demonize it and then do just like they did God, colonize it. Remember, baby, this is still your shit. So do like you always done did. Be bad. Not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good. Switch a Maruji to shit. Make fertilizer. Use your secret weapon equalizer and make black love. Make black love. Make black love. Activate the magic. Love who you are and just how bad you be. And multiply. Because the children are thirsty and the soil's too dry, and we are in a state of emergency. I know your spidey senses feel this. And since you have been blessed a tremendous alchemist, turn this thing around. Ring a bell, spit rum, beat the drums, burn sage, shake a tambourine, roll a coconut, blow smoke, sprinkle herbs, boil a pot, take a bath, chant, sing, clap in the clearing. I said clap, 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 clap in the clearing. Catch the ancestor spirit, catch the ancestor spirit. Calling Shango, oh yeah, Yemenya, Obatala, Sekbet, Heteru, Heteru, Kuchira, Aten, Amara, and all of them. And then check your intentions and root it in love. Because Mama, me, she, we stirred you up good, boy. We are at war. Oh, blue, black, brown, baby buckshot, shorty rock, melanated prince king, kissed by the sun. Where do I begin to explain the fury you have faced? History books and Bibles erased you. Hollywood insults, rewrites, and defaces you. Cops, courts, and vigilantes chase you, murder you, and then blame you because you defy every lie your enemy has told about you. These European English patients who built their self-esteem on white supremacist cockamamie false facts, broken toothpicks, twisted studies, rabid research, and fantastic fibs. So how dare you have the audacity to live and survive the unsurvivable? hundreds of years of insanity, rape, murder, torture, psychic trauma, 400 years of relentless crimes against humanity. And you still shine? You still fly? You still got your magic? How? What you talking about? These jokers is just jealous, baffled by your brilliance, your soul force, resilience, and refusal to not be beat. Though a little broken, scuffed up, and tired, you have always been more powerful than your oppressor, as you should. Because mama, me, I, she, I, we stirred you up good, boy. You, mystic master of mystery, who taught the Greeks everything they know, as they sat by your feet, learning math, medicine, astronomy, mythology, philosophy, geometry, sacred masonry, and prayer, how to turn papyrus into paper and extract wisdom from trees, how nature is the greatest teacher and supplies all your needs. You built the Sphinx, temples, and colossal statues in stone that mirror your broad nose and thick lips on your face. Long before telescopes, you studied outer space, cosmic communicators with intergalactic alien life. Science fiction was a fact. New age is old age, dating back to when you built landscapes of monuments perfectly designed in accordance to the stars. Then you civilized Europe. This is who you truly are. Best believe they know it, but you forgot it. So this is why I write, to remind you of it. I must remind you, so you never forget. Your strength is biblical. So outrageous, so surreal, sometimes it seems mythical. You are the mighty phoenix soaring from the ashes of the slave, the real life in your face, resurrected God's son. Remember how you built a black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921? And in just 12 hours, it became undone, bombed by barbarians. 21 black churches, 21 black restaurants, 30 black grocery stores, 2 black movie theaters, 19 black millionaires, black private jets, black hospitals, black schools, black post office, black bus system, and 3,000 black men, women, and babies bombed by beasts, jealous American terrorists, jealous of you, hated and bombed you because they're jealous of all that you are, dared to be, and all that you have been. Because even in the face of insurmountable hate, you still came back on top again. This creates fury and bombs to be dropped on you. 300 black men, women, and babies slaughtered without a history book mention, not even a national monument for this national monstrosity. Woo, baby. This country is insane and has gone to great lengths at waging a continual campaign to destroy you, crush you, trick you, deny you, stop and frisk you, Jim Crow you, criminalize you, incarcerate you, demonize you, admire you, then ignore you, copy you, rob you, want to be just like you, dismiss you and use you, and never say thank you. This is an unnatural and deadly place for you. So while you break dance between bullets, giggle at jackals glaring from squad cars, play hide and seek with prison bounty hunters, trick or treat with terrorists, play your music real loud and run to the store for iced tea and Skittles, jaywalk back to grandma's house, sell loose cigarettes and DVDs, drive with a broken tail light, reach for your ID, shop for a toy gun, and play with it in the park. We mothers pray. We pray. Harriet Tubman, please make him invisible prayer. Because even though I'm afraid, I don't want you to be scared. So I pray. A hair of lamb's wool, burnt bronze, black Jesus, fish frying, walking on water, water to wine, multiplying, crucifixion, resurrection, miracle prayer for you, because this has been and still is a deadly place for you. And where do I begin explaining the fury you will continue to face? There's so many layers for me to explain, baby. I'm exhausted by rage, absorbing too much pain, fighting energy bandits in my own damn depression, surfing waves of confusion in the whole wide world's obsession with racism, white supremacy. It's a mental illness, and it's a powerful lunacy. So remember your magic, warrior. I said, remember your magic, warrior. Salute your battle scars and shine, warrior. Conjure your genetic memory. Conjure your genetic memory. Honor the ancestors and expect miracles, because we are our own antidote. And remember this, beloved. There will always be hateful riptides, but if it's one thing I know, shit, we know how to survive. Just like we did it before, we'll do it again with love. Demonstrate love. Demonstrate love.
We have Brother Mumia from prison, and he only has 3 more minutes.
And this is Brother Mumia, demonstrating love.
Okay, Papa, I'm getting ready to put it. I'm getting ready to put the mic. Okay. It's here. Hold on, hold on. They clapping for you. He has about 4 minutes, y'all. Go ahead, Baba.
Dear brothers, dear sisters, dear comrades, thank you for inviting me. I have a rather brief statement in support of the memory of Seiku Odinga, soldier for black freedom. My name is Mumia Abu-Jamal. His name was Seiku Odinga, a lifelong soldier for black liberation. When there arose a black freedom movement, he never hesitated to join in and add his energies to the struggle. 2020 book, Black Power Afterlives, Sekou and his partner, Dekwi Kioni Siddiqui, wrote a moving self-history that gives us insights into these lives and freedom struggles. Seiku Odinga wrote, I was a member of the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, a Black Liberation Army soldier, and for 33 years, a U.S.-held political prisoner of war. Most of my adult life has been spent in the struggle for black self-determination, black revolutionary politics, and black liberation. As such, my life speaks to the oft-heard expression, oppression breeds resistance, and resistance breeds repression. My political consciousness began when I was a youthful offender at Comstock Correctional Facility in upstate New York with a good friend and close comrade, Lumumba Shakur. Lumumba's father, Haji Salahuddin Shakur, would send his son reading materials on Malcolm X, his teachings, nationalist politics, the struggle for land and independence, and, most pointedly, the human right that black people must exercise to arm and defend themselves against violence, state or private. Lumumba would show these materials and share them with me and and after serving a 3-year sentence, I was back on the street and seeking the Malcolm that had inspired me in prison. The words of Seiku Odinga in Black Power Afterlives, published by Haymarket Books. Odinga would join the Organization of Afro-American Unity, or the OAAU, led by Malcolm. But shortly thereafter, Malcolm would be assassinated. Odinga would lead the OAAU. In 1960, a delegation from Oakland, California, called the Black Panther Party,
You have 1 minute left.
York, to seek recruits. Odinga and Lumumba Shakur joined immediately. The rest was history. In November 2014, Odinga made parole, and he and Dekri fought for black freedom for a decade. Seiku Odinga, 79, returned to the ancestors. With love, not fear, this is your brother, Mumia Abu-Jamal. Thank you.
Thank you. We love you. You hear that?
Scouts, go. Yes. Go ahead.
That was very powerful. And in the spirit of what he said, I told my cousin I was going to do this. He's looking at me right now. So y'all don't know, two of my uncles, Lumumba Shakur and Zaid Shakur, their children, two of their children are sitting here. My cousin Dingus Whale, Lumumba's son. My cousin Saniqua, Uncle Zaid's daughter. And Mopreem Shakur, my Uncle Mutulu's son. Now we will have the flag presentation from the New African Scouts. Hold on.
And right after,
Oh,
she come up.
all right. She's just ending.
I'm just,
Scouts
and,
should
but,
come right after.
and how divine when I was saying the line, demonstrate love, and love just blessed us with, woo, Mumia. Demonstrate love. I love you, wounded warrior. My beloved, beautiful sunflower, dandelion, lilac, lotus, blade of grass, refusing defeat, growing between the cracks of concrete because you always find the light. You always find the light. You are the light. My blue, black, brown, baby, buckshot, shorty rock, melanated prince king, kissed by the sun and sculpted like a god. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, New African Scouts. Is this thing on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. All right, greetings again, everyone. I said earlier, my name is Aiyisha Obafemi. I am the daughter of Fulani and Bilal Sunni Ali and Ahmed Obafemi. So at this point, you know, besides the many things that my parents and uncles and aunts have done, they were also, and we are also, citizens of the Republic of New Africa. So I'm gonna ask you if you can stand, to please stand and face the flag. And I'm gonna recite the New African oath, and you can repeat after me. If you cannot stand, you can raise your fist from your seat. We're gonna say it loud. For the fruition of Black power, for the triumph of Black nationhood, I pledge to the provisional government of the Republic of New Africa, to the building of a better people and a better world, my total devotion, my total resources, and the total power of my mortal life. Free the land. 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 By any means necessary. Now I'm going to call my family up. Kikuyu Shakur. Come on, y'all. I said Kikuyu Shakur.
Hello, everyone. It was really important for me to come because, of course, my mother can't be here. My mother is Assata Shakur, and given the circumstances, it was important for me and my family. I have two of my children, my oldest son, Jata Mobili Coleman, and my daughter, Savannah Gail Assata Shakur Coleman is here as well. And we just wanted to send our love to Seiku Odinga's family. And just to begin to make meaning of how this history continues. I'm not a person of a lot of words, so I'm just going to read what I wrote. It just kind of expresses what I feel in this moment about the continuation of this history. So I'll just go ahead. This story doesn't end at the pummeled edge of the hunted body, or at the seamless sink of silver-studded moon dust slipping through it when nothing is left but ashen whispers clinging to barren bones. This story isn't meant to die, isn't bound by molecules, doesn't stick to a needled tongue spewing a toxic spittle of lies corroding the substance of who you are and who they've never been. This story doesn't rip on the steel blade of a cinder block death, a modern-day auction block death, in a rabbit cage in a prison cell steeped in the unholy metal dirge of barrels locked and loaded, of triggers still as hawks before the fevered feast, before the dive of feathers, before the timeless pain that ricochets between the brick and mortar, of the faceless void that chains the spirit that can't be shattered by their guns. This story doesn't cower from the daggered womb that conceived America in its sinful loins. It's not the same old story never told, not the hushed smell of tears still draped in summer's rain, splashing on the memory of how they killed the spirit buffalo, of how they danced and made merry in the mire of her sacred blood, starved the people to steal the land, bent the will to bind the spirit, enslaved the sovereign body, squeezed the liquid gold from their conquered blood. Can you hear it? The heart still drumming in sacred tongues, the memories that always claw back like hunger, moaning in the haunt of mourning. Come, tell your heaven-spawned, your sons and your daughters, that we are still the rebel magic at the earth's kindled core. That we are heavy from iron, souls we forged, from our will to survive the slaughter. That we are blackened by the sun, hematite shards sharpened by the grit of our scars that we rip from our leathered backs like coats too small to fit our broadened shoulders anymore because we resisted. As our tongues were plucked, as our chains were tightened, enough to bend the tide of our blood, as our wombs were pillaged, as our scars crawled into the hollow night of our ravaged bodies, we resisted. And even in our torrid death, writhing in the crackle of crimson coals, we still resisted in the bristle of our undead souls reaching from the reeds. Can you hear it? The crowing story that can only end in the retelling of who we are. That we stand for life in the technicolor infinite of all its human hues. That we come for love lighter than the banter of clouds and sweeter than the honey bloom of dusk. That we summon the righteous death of oppression by excising the malignant greed pressing on the vital artery of life. And we believe in wayward souls that swim upstream against the current because our struggle has to mean something. Our sunken tears have to reach something. Some shimmered seed, some bubbling yolk deep in the craggy root to grow something glorious.
Yes. Come on. I'd like to call some of our speakers with remembrances of Brother Sekou to the stage. Sister Laura Whitehorn, if she could come. Sister Nancy Mansour, if she could come. Brother Frank Brown, if he could come. And Brother Jihad Abdul Mumit. So we ask our speakers to come. They'll introduce more fully who they are and how they work with our comrade brother Seiku Odinga. Give them a round of applause. Oh, thank you. No, I'm yielding some time because of time.
No, okay, so I'll be fast. I am beyond honored to be standing here. I'm standing here for a number of people, including Susan Rosenberg, my co-defendant, who's right down there, and our co-defendants, comrades Marilyn Buck and Alan Berkman. And we were part of, I was thinking while I was listening to the program, we were moved, we were inspired by Sekou and others in that moment when the Black movement produced the Black Panther Party, the Republic of New Africa. But then in terms of the Weather Underground, which I know somehow I'm supposed to talk about, which was a generation of white people who proclaimed ourselves anti-imperialists and in solidarity with the Black Liberation Movement, we had to be inspired twice, because there was a moment when the Panther 21 had to send out a letter criticizing the Weather Underground for stopping following in the militant path of armed struggle to support Black liberation. And when I was privileged to be part of the care circle for Sekou, and it was after October 7th, so he and I spent, as I know others did with him, and Nancy will talk about this, a lot of time talking about the movement in solidarity with Palestine. And we walked back and we thought about how back in the 70s there was a moment when there were white people who stood in solidarity with the Black struggle because we understood that we were moved by anti-racism, but we were inspired by the struggle for national liberation of the Black nation, and that meant by any means necessary, and that those words mean something, and that is happening also right now in the movement to free Palestine, where people are being moved either to fight against genocide, which is great, or to fight in support of Palestinian resistance. So I was also asked by Dekwi to talk a little bit about RAP, Release Aging People in Prison, and the reason I think is because Dekwi and Sekou and Sophia Elijah and my late comrades Mujahid Fareed and Kathy Boudin built Release Aging People in Prison as part of a struggle to free political prisoners in New York State and to end the racist structures of mass incarceration at the same time. And so we were born a little before the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition because we were trying to be kind of two wings of one bird and fight on all levels. I just want to, because I want to be short, I mean, I can't help being short, but I want to speak short. I want to say a couple of things about Sekou and Dekwi, because Dekwi was a fighter before she was a partner of Sekou. And we can never forget that because, and this isn't so much about Dekwi, who I think is one of the most wonderful people and one of my best friends in the world. It's about Sekou's respect and understanding of women's leadership, especially leadership of Black women in the struggle, which is something we need in this society, we need in our movement much more. And so he talked some about the group of people who worked with him to free Sister Assata Shakur, and how he knew that women were warriors and were willing to fight and sacrifice, and also would not snitch if there were a problem in the end, and that turned out to be true. And so one other thing before I get back to one other point about him and women is that another thing that Sekou and the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition and RAP agree on is no one gets thrown under the bus, ever. That there are no exclusions from the right to justice, there are no exclusions from the right to liberation, and there are no exclusions from our movement. And he exemplified that, Sekou exemplified that in reaching out to everyone. And he also was someone who would never throw anyone under the bus personally and would sacrifice and risk his own safety and freedom for those who were fighting against the state, whether he agreed with what they had just done or not, whether he agreed with everything you did or not. If you were going down, he was going to make sure you didn't go down. And I think that's another thing about Sekou that we don't think about enough, that to me is one of his key points. And the last thing I want to say, just coming back to women. So in those days when we sat around in his hospital room and talked, we talked about basketball because we were both basketball fans. Knicks fans, not Nets fans, to those in the audience who I know who are confused on this point. And I also said to him one day, you know, one thing that really kind of makes me mad is how so many men I know know, oh, the Knicks and the Pacers and don't know anything about the WNBA. He said, that's just because they don't really appreciate basketball. And then he went on to talk about the history of the WNBA, and we named our favorite players, coming to a resting point on the greatest of all time, Teresa Weatherspoon. So a man of our generation who knows, this is before that Caitlin Clark stuff and all, you know, now this whole, he understood the power of women, and he understood that because he honored the women in his life, and he learned from them, and we learned from him. And there's no way to say how much we're going to miss him. So thank you so much. Love to the family, love to this amazing community that brings us in and allows us to be part of these rites of passage. I love you. Free the land, free Palestine.
Peace and love, family. It's an honor to be on the stage to speak about a brother, a comrade, a professional revolutionary that I had the honor to work with and be trained by and taught by. You know, the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition came into being in 2016 after the brother was released from prison in 2014. So he understood that he had more work to do. And we, the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition, understand that we have work to do. I know there was a committee that was put together to attend to him while he was in the hospital for the 4 months. And during that time, we all were given assignments. We all were made to understand that if things don't turn out a certain way, then we still had to continue to fight. That made me step up and say, you know, I need to look at myself and ask myself how much more responsibilities I need to take up. And I think that I share that with everybody because that's why we're here today, to carry on Sekou's legacy. You know, let us be inspired by the release of political prisoner Veronica Bowers, so that should inspire us to do more work. He didn't die in prison. So at this moment, I just want the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition to stand up, please. This is the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition, and we all here together to understand our role and our responsibilities. So when you see us, you know, let's exchange ideas, let's be innovative, let's be creative, let's do what we need to do. And another thing I want to say is I thank the December 12th movement extremely, tremendously for allowing me and my comrade, Abdullah Islam, to produce our podcast. And that is something that's very important for us to do because we have to be continuous with our discussions on political prisoners, and we have to make sure that they are engaged in our everyday struggles because when we do that, then they become real, right? We can't let people tell us that these are criminals, these are terrorists, and they deserve to die in prison. These are captured freedom fighters, and we gotta act like that, you know? So we all possess, free them all. We all possess various talents. I say if you're an artist, do artwork on political prisoners. If you're a musician, write music on political prisoners. Whatever you can do, do it. Teach your children. Don't be afraid to let your children know that there are people sacrificing, because that's what Seiku Odinga's life was about, commitment and sacrifice. So when we say be Sekou, that's exactly what it means. You got to be it in theory and practice. So what's the call? What's the call? What's the call? Be Sekou.
Assalamu alaikum. I don't think many people recognize me because I don't usually wear dresses. But I had to wear our Palestinian celebration dresses for my brother, Baba Seiku Odinga. This is also fake. I just put a couple notes down. I did not prepare. I don't need to because he's in my heart. It was really hard because every time I tried to write this, I started crying. And you know, in Palestine, they tell us, don't cry. You'd be shot in the ass with a bullet, and the brothers would be like, say alhamdulillah. I'm like, bro, about what? Like, but you know, it's a thing in Palestine, like, you know. So when I I learned about Baba Sekou through M1 and Divine, and they were doing a lot of work around his campaign with Sister Dekwi, and I didn't know about his political history with Palestine until he was released, and we were honored as Existence Resistance to co-host his welcome home at the Malcolm X and Beit Shabazz Center in Harlem. And about a week or two after that, they came over for dinner, Dekwi and Sekou. I tell everybody he loved my food. Like, you don't know, like Palestinian food. Like, he would say, "You have the best hummus. You have the best this." I was actually really, really upset because when I went to visit him about a month before he transitioned, he wanted some fish. This has really been bothering me. As much as he loved me for my food, like whenever he would speak at events, he would always bring up how, you know, he's like, "This is not just my comrade, but, you know, we eat together. This is my sister." And, you know, it bothered me because he wanted some fish, and apparently the fish was mad dry. But he didn't say nothing when I was feeding him, so I'm like, bro. And it's bothered me because I'm like, as much as we've eaten together and you rave about my food, the last meal I got you was trash. and it's fucked with me a lot. But anyway, I know he forgives me. But the first time they were at crib, I just remember, like, you know, I have a brother who was in jail 22 years in Palestine. He just got out a few years after Baba Sekou. So Baba Sekou was the first person that I'd met that'd been in jail for that long. And so I was just looking at him across on the couch, and I remember, like, what do you think of cell phones? What do you think of, like, I was, like, so intrigued about everything. But anyway, you know, I learned more about his time in the Algiers, with the PFLP. You know, I do a lot of work with Black Palestinians, and I'm also trying my best to educate my people on the Black struggle as much as I can that are not educated back home. And I promised him that I'll always do that work. That's something in my heart. But he showed me how long the solidarity has been there for. He showed me how Palestinians and Black liberation movement fighters have been fighting together for so long. So this is nothing new. We need to continue, and we need to educate. He always told me education, education, and that's what I'm doing for my daughter. And I'm so blessed that, you know, he was at my baby shower. They came up. I moved to Mass. When I told him I was moving to Massachusetts, he's like, "I'm gonna fucking start a protest." I'm like, bro, like, it's my family, I gotta go. But they came up to visit me a few times. He was there when my daughter was, after my daughter was born. And it's just been so much love, and it's been really, really hard. You know, this is life, right? Like, it's hard because I went to Gaza a couple months ago, and I haven't been able to talk about it yet, and I really wanted to talk to him. Because, you know, he'd be the person that I call and be like, "Fuck these motherfuckers." and he'd be like, "These devils," you know, like, but it was like, he was that, you know, like, he was, first of all, the voice of reason, but also that person that I didn't have to say nothing, like, he just understood, you know what I'm saying? I know there's many people like that, but you know how there's people in your life that just understand, and they're in the struggle, and he's somebody that gave his life for his people, and we fucking respect that in Palestine, because that's what all my brothers and sisters are doing in Palestine. We fear nothing but God. And when you really believe in something, you give everything. It doesn't matter, because you're doing it for your children and your children's children. And I always also, you know, I'm happy that every time Baba Sekou showed up for every event I had, unless he was in another state, that's the only reason. He'd be getting on stage and he'd pick up my call. Like, that's how much love I felt from Baba Sekou. And he was always there, and I always gave him his flowers. I always made everybody stand up in the room and show respect to Baba Sekou for fighting, you know, the fight that he did and giving 34 years of his life for his people. So with that, I won't go on too much. I love you, Dekwi. You know, I love you, Baba Sekou. Glory to the martyrs from here to Palestine. Long live the resistance. Fuck Israel, and long live Baba Sekou.
Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. My name is Jihad Abdul-Mumit. I guess I can come up here and be many things. But tonight, I'm going to represent Seiku Odinga as a Black Liberation Army member and a combatant. I want to extend my love and condolences to my beloved sister Dekwi and the family and comrades of Sekou. Just want to say a few things, including Seiku Odinga's last action request. So if you're not familiar with what that was, in the next 3 minutes, right? In the next few minutes, I'm going to make sure that we all know what it is so that you can factor yourself in that action plan. Because we are here to celebrate, represent, and carry on the legacy of Comrade Seiku Odinga. I want the Black Panthers and the Black Liberation Army members to stand. Jalil, Ashanti, Shep, Bullwhip, Bilal Sunni Ali, Dr. Coquick, there's all these old folks up there. All them old folks in the front row there. Jamal Joseph. So I want to represent a certain type of energy of a combat fighter. We picked up weapons and fought against this beast. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about what we were trying to do. As idealistic as it may seem to some of you who may not be familiar with that level of action. As teenagers, to go out and fight these pigs. You understand what I'm saying? There's something unique happening here with this generation that you have that we didn't have. We didn't have the benefit of our elders. That's right. Say that. We didn't have the benefit of our elders. That's right. Malcolm X was assassinated when he was 39 years old. And if you're vibing off of Dr. Martin Luther King, he was 39 also. That's right. And all the Huey P. Newtons and Eldridge Cleaver, they were younger than that. And our youngest martyr was Bobby Hutton. That's right. And he was a teenager. You have the benefit of learning from some, well, my beard is really gray, but the dark and lovely joint kicking in like a mother fletcher. I guess if I took my teeth out, you probably really knew it. You say that joker ain't nothing. But actually, this joker is something. This joker's a kick-ass motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? And you're looking at it right now, but one day, there won't be a Jalil. One day, it won't be a Tariq. One day, it won't be a Bilal Sunni Ali. One day, it won't be a Shanti Austin. One day, it won't be a Jamal Joseph. We're dying. You can see it. We just had another memorial early this morning. Get your lessons while you can. Shep is almost out of here. He's asleep now. Wake up, Shep. So I want to just say real quickly what that action plan was. Dekwi, remember Comrade Sister, when we was in the hospital bed there with Sekou, we had to even prop him up, and he asked us to check out one thing. In 2021, we organized, Jalil Abdul Mutakin, he called for an organization of a coalition called the Spirit of Mandela. Fast forward. With Matt Myers and myself, he's somewhere in the audience, and Seiku Odinga, the three of us at the United Nations, at the decolonization thing for Puerto Rico, came up with the idea of having a tribunal We had that tribunal in 2021. We had an international panel of jurors to find what each and every one of us already know, that this beast of a country, this racist apartheid country, this master of colonialism exporting it all around the world, the one that's financing the genocide of Palestine and the genocide of all throughout Africa and Haiti and everywhere else. The same beast that would hang us from a tree, castrate us, throw us in the bottom of the lake, and have a picnic is the same beast mentality that's killing sisters and brothers right now. Clock your watch right now. 24 hours from now, another 100 children will be dead in Gaza right now because of the finances, our tax money gone. But that's another rap. I got it. Now, we call for a People's Senate. We call for a level of organization in the United States that we don't have right now. We have a lot of protests, which we should have. We should be out there. The students should be out there. We should be boycotting, divestment, all these things. But what we don't do, sisters and brothers, if we don't organize amongst ourselves. So when that protest is over and you go home, there'll be another genocide over there, and over there, and over there, and over there. And next year at this time, we will not have organized anything. We'll still be fragmented. We can boast and brag about our own organizations. And while the governments, the NATO, European Union is circling the wagons, we haven't circulated a horse. We haven't done anything. We haven't planted a tomato. We don't know what self-determination is. But I can tell you one thing, the Black Panther Party knew that. We was able to bridge the gap between theory and practice. And the reason why our youth is bewildered now and confused because we run our mouth and we have not established the practice. We haven't done anything that anybody can look at. So even after you hear me talk, there's nothing that we've established for anybody to look at. Back then, didn't we have them survival programs so that you can get an idea of what freedom would look like? Just an idea. But now we don't have nothing. We have internet, webinars, Zoom meetings. Seiku Odinga was a master at theory and practice. He established the international chapter of the Black Panther Party at Algiers. I just left Tanzania and saw Pete O'Neill and his beautiful wife, Charlotte. They have a 3.5-acre compound, just got 6 more acres. Theory and practice. Theory and practice. Get with the program. Get with the program. Otherwise, it's going to be a sham. You see that? Black Liberation Army. You see that? Yes, sir. Now, the last thing I want to say, the conditions have changed. But the principles haven't. That's right. You youngsters are going to have to figure it out. But what we can pass on is strength, discipline, morality, faith in Allah. Yes, sir. This man was a Muslim. Malcolm X was a Muslim. Yes, Muhammad Ali is a Muslim. Mansa Musa is a Muslim. Recognize it for what it is, and don't play yourself. Recognize it for what it is. Don't play with your ideology. Don't play with your faith. If you really respect this man, you better check out what he did and what he believed in. We can leave you the example of our character. And you hear how my voice is? That's how I sound at the dinner table. Pass the salt! Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. All power to the people.
Come on. That's my brother. Come on, give it up for Brother Jihad. Come on. Brother Jihad is actually the reason I'm in theater. Because he did theater in Leavenworth prison camp.
No, we weren't at the camp.
And we went at the
No,
camp.
we weren't at the camp.
No, I said camp as in concentration camp.
Okay, it was good.
All right? I didn't mean camp as in, you know, y'all who know the federal system as in Allenwood or one of those camps. But as Jihad was leaving and I was coming in, he actually charged me to continue that work. And so I started writing. This brother, BLA veteran, Black Panther veteran, Brother Abdullah was in that program with us. And I just like our brothers just to stand together because there's some intersection. There are members of the Panther 21 in the audience, right? Brother Shabba you're here? Is Brother Sunni out of here? And then there was that, and then there was those of us, Baba, Brother Bilal Sunni Ali is here. We were in MCC together and on trial together in the Brinks case with Sekou. So there was all those kind of different, different intersections, especially for me and Sekou, joining the Panthers, the BLA, 2 prisons together. But I want to tell a quick, funny story. When I joined the Black Panther Party, Sekou was my section leader. And so I was trying to impress. So some guy in the projects knew some guy in the projects that said that he had, that he could get a silencer, right? So I came to a meeting and I wanted to impress Sekou. And I said, Brother Sekou, I know a brother who knows a brother that has a silencer. Now I want to put this in context. I was 15 years old. So if we could think, even our veterans who are in the room, that if someone who was 15 years old came to you saying that they could get a silencer, what we might advise them. But Sekou was Sekou. And what he said to me was, well, go get it and we'll put it to the test. I'd just like Abdullah to help me just do the roll call tonight and then have him say a few words. And as we're doing that, we'd like to get our next group of speakers just to come up. But there's a lot of family. So if we could do it in the spirit of the way we do it in the Latino community, if we call an individual, call your name, or if we forget anybody, let's just represent it just by saying presente, meaning that we're here. So we know we have comrades from the Young Lords Party. We know we have Black Liberation Army. May 19th, we're the Underground. Republic of New Africa. New African People's Organization, NAPO.
We have from the program, Existence is Resistance. Alhamdulillah, Palestinian Solidarity. The Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition, the Malcolm X Grassroots Movement. And we just had Jihad up here with the Spirit of Mandela, but he's going to holler anyway. Spirit of Mandela. Alhamdulillah.
And some individuals shine. Brother Watani's in the house? May the Lord, where's Watani? Come on, Watani, stand up, brother. Presente, Watani. Come on. Can we get Brother Lumumba and Sister Monifa to come to the stage? All right. We'll hold her down till she gets back. Right. Yes.
As they're coming up, just a quick shout out to the Baba Sekou Collective Community Care. Those folks that were there during his last 4 and 5 months, 24/7. For those folks that were there, Abdul Rahim, Anochi Odinga, Antonia Colden, Akil, Muhammad, Abdul Rahim, Asha Bandele, Dr. Barbara Zella, Bob Boyle, Corey Anderson, Eli Odinga, Frank Brown, Jose Hamza Saldana, Ismatu Gwendolyn, Jasiri Fahele Kusinda Nikayama, Laura Whitehorn, Lumumba Bendela, Monifa Bendela, Mustafa Enandusu, Norman Mogadishu Coward, Natasha Roberts, Naeem Adams, Sabir Ambrose, Saeed Abdul Shakur, Sekou Shakur, Shuaib Abdul Rahim, Sophia Elijah, Susan Rosenberg, Susan Day, Yah Santaway, and Zinga, and Zaina Martin. We like to
give them all a round of applause.
All of a round of applause.
Okay.
They were there.
Listen, do this. can we have all our Cubs, Panther Cubs, Movement Cubs, have you just stand up for a second? All the Cubs, all the Movement Cubs, just stand up. Come on now. And is there anyone we're forgetting? Because this is what I don't want to happen. I don't want it to be at the reception. I don't want to get a text tomorrow. I don't want to get a phone call next Friday to my brother Jamal, I was just wrong. You forgot to like acknowledge, okay? So help us out because we want to make sure that this is a celebration and that we acknowledge everyone. Are we good, family?
Right, right.
Okay, very good. Brother Abdush, your memories, and then we have Brother Lumumba and Sister Monifa.
Again, in keeping with the reminder that you gave us that we had 3 minutes, we'll do it real quick. So far as memories of Sekou, Sekou and I did his last 2 trips together, one to Philadelphia and one to South Carolina that ended up in Mississippi, which, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We started in, we're supposed to be having 2 or 3 days in South Carolina, and somehow or another, we got talked into Alabama and Mississippi, so we made the trip across Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and came back. He later said, after we returned, that of all the trips in his life, and it meant a lot to me when he said it, and I really didn't understand it then, but he said that this was the best trip that he'd ever taken in his life. And I'm thinking, wow, after 79 years. And in terms of when you talk about Sekou in his life, you're talking about trips to Cuba. And y'all know he went to Cuba, right, on his own. This one, when the United States didn't have planes flying back and forth to Cuba. He went to Cuba on his own because he took a plane. No, he took a plane. He didn't talk about it. He wouldn't talk about it because he was, even though the statute of limitation had passed, Sekou was always wondering that these folks would try to find a way to double back on him and say, well, even though the statute of limiting for what they called hijacking at the time, he said there was still, might have been counts of kidnapping. But he had to go to Cuba in order to get the Algeria. He wanted to get the Algeria because Donald Cox had sent for him. He said, I want to see you. Sekou was underground, so he made the effort. He said, well, I'm going to do that and get this. Sekou was a diplomat for the Black Panther Party in terms of establishing things not only in Algeria, but with Cuba, also with the Palestinian liberation organizations. Sekou had stories where he went out. Again, these are things that he wouldn't tell because he didn't want to, have it as he's sitting back thinking him enjoying himself, hearing a knock at the door and say, well, you need to come see us. Sekou, when he was in Algeria, made his way into the Bekaa Valley, worked with some folks in the different Palestinian liberation organizations, the freedom fighters there. He wouldn't talk about it publicly. But now that he's free from the grasp, we can share these stories just very briefly. Because he said, one day they went out in the Bekaa Valley and he was interested in the RPGs, the rocket propelled grenades. The guy said, okay, we can take it with us. And so it's heavy and they're clugging along. And then they want to take it and fire it, and they fired it, but when you fire the RPGs, you have to yell in order to maintain your hearing. Because if you don't yell, the noise from the RPG can take your hearing out. And so he fires it and yells, ah! And then he decides, man, I don't want to fire this no more. This is not a good thing to fire. And so he turns to the section leader and lets him know that I'm not real thrilled about this. And the section leader wasn't real thrilled about it. He said, well, you made us lug this thing all the way out here, and you want to keep. So they got bad with Sekou about it, but he was willing to share that story. But in regards to where he traveled, there with the Bekaa Valley, down in Namibia, he was there. As we said, to Cuba, when he took the plane, and he maintained contact with the Cubans, so when it was necessary to revitalize that contact, which is to say that when our sister, Assata Shakur, needed a place to land, he was able to reach out to them and say, we have something we want to send your way. They said, look, we can't help you get her here, but if you get her here, we got her. And they were true to that promise, and they've been true to that promise. Right? Yeah. You know, and many times when we talk about Sekou and the liberation of Assata Shakur, a lot of times that, you know, we mention him, but I don't think that we really understand the role that he played. And many times he's just, I mean, it's almost like brushed over. It was like something that she organized and he participated in. No, it was something that he organized and she participated in. He went and got her. You know what? And it was a type of thing that the brothers that he was working with, and we can say these things now because most folks that were affiliated with that action have moved on, are free from the clutches. But he said that when they were visiting her, when the first folks were visiting her, they walked up in the prison in New Jersey just like you walked into this auditorium. You understand what I'm saying? There was not a search. Ain't nobody put no hands on you. Don't let me look in your bag. There wasn't wanding. There was not a metal detector. And they said, these folks have lost their minds. They said, these folks have lost their mind. We got to take advantage of this. Our sisters in here, and all they're going to do is let us walk from the door all the way to the visiting hall, and they're not going to do anything. I mean, we got to get them. We got to get them. So they sat back and they made a plan. They saw the holding area where they had at, what they needed to do. They said the only obstacle was a couple obstacles. Lady in a booth with glass, thick plastic glass. We got to get her cooperation. How are we going to get her cooperation? They looked at the glass, how thick it was, brought a pistol, was able to shoot through the glass. They said, you know, it'll take a couple shots, but with this .357, it'll open it up. But we don't want it to get to that. We're going to bluff our way through. So it took some dynamite in there. Yes, took some dynamite in. And when the visiting was going on, 2 pistols and a dynamite. Anyway, because Assata got one, he got the dynamite. They're talking to the lady in the booth. Assata had been there so long that the people in the prison knew her and they were, you know, having conversations with her. So when Sekou shows up and says it's time for you to open this door and to let her out, and he's got the dynamite pressed up against the window and said, come on, let's go. And then, oh, Lord, Assata, come on, honey, I got these grandbabies. Well, you open the door. You got to open the door. And so through that bluffing them, and I say that bluffing them is this. The reason why I say that he had to bluff them, because the dynamite was 3 flares. And Sekou, when I asked Sekou about it, he said, you know what? Nobody ever asked me about that. He said, you the first? I said, yeah, it was just 3 sets with some flares on. He said, yep. He said, but just in case you didn't open it, we had the pistol, but we didn't want to make a whole lot of noise. But he was able to get her to open the door. They had other brothers in the van, other folks in the van. They were able to jump in, and then it become one of those chases, you know, because now they got to get off of the compound, but they were fortunate enough that they had a mental institution at the far end of the compound, that if they got to the mental institution, they could get out through there and not have to worry about the guards, and the rest is history. All right? But these, wow. These are the stories that they shared that he wouldn't come out and just say, this is what's going on. He would say, you know, I participated in the liberation of Assata Shakur. No. They went up there, and what we used to call back in the day, they did a Steve Brody. For those who are familiar with that term, they did a Steve Brody. They were audacious. Wow. And this was one of his terms, audacious. He liked that term, audacity. And don't, you know what? What time we got to be out here? y'all out over there. The folks, the folks that know that me and Sekou used to stay up all night. I used to have to do 2 shifts in regards to watching Sekou. We would do one shift talking all night, and then the next shift sleeping after breakfast so we could get up and he get some sleep, I get some sleep, and going back to where I was coming from. One quick story about Sekou, and I'm gonna finish this. Yeah, you say, okay. This goes back to his childhood and in relation to just discernment, because Sekou was a very discerning individual in terms of, as we say, knowing when to hold him and knowing when to fold him. Sekou, 3 older brothers that used to work with their father on a coal truck, pick up 100-pound bags of coal. He was just strong from picking up 100-pound bags of coal. And I'd envisioned his father looking one way, and then I saw a picture of him and realized that who I envisioned and who his father was 2 different people. His father, he looked like Senior Walker. People say, who's Senior Walker? Junior Walker's father. He looked like he could have been Junior Walker's father, Senior Walker. But big, strong man. And his brothers got tired of working for his father. And so they devised a plot and said, when Daddy comes in today and tells us that we need to get on that truck and start working, we ain't having it. We're jumping on him. Man been picking up 100-pound bags every day. Every stop he gets 100-pound bag. Sekou thought about it. He said, no, I don't think it's a good idea. They said, no, you with us nice and high. So their father came in, and he told him, all right, load up the truck and let's go. And they said, no, Daddy, we're not going. He said, what do you mean you're not going? He said, y'all get on that truck and let's go. They wouldn't go. Father shut the door. They charged their father. The three of them charged the father. Sekou had enough sense to sit that one out. And after the father finished tossing them around like he did the bags of coal, they loaded it up. That discernment stayed with Sekou all of his life. He knew when to go and when not to go, and I'm glad that the brother, just in terms of sharing the stories that he would share with me and us, Asha has got to publish that book. Asha, if there are stories that you have, I'm going to read, I'm a proofreader, and there's some more that we need to throw in there because he had plenty of them. And that was our coin of the realm. We just sat back and told stories to each other all night. But, you know, alhamdulillah, I give thanks and praise for Sekou and for the opportunity to be with Sekou, and I'm glad that you are all here to honor him and remember him as a warrior, remember him as your brother, remember him as Baba, remember him for all the good and gracious things that he did. He was a good and gracious brother. I'm going to turn this over. I've been on here too long, 3 minutes, my watch stopped working. It's on y'all.
Free the land. Free the land. Free the land. Say, we love Dequi. We love Dequi. We love Dequi. Y'all, our elders are still with us sharing amazing stories of power and triumph and perseverance, and they have won so many things, and they are still here. Can we give a round of applause to every member of the Black Panther Party, the Republic of New Africa, the Black Liberation Army? They want us to believe that we didn't have freedom fighters, but they're right here. We're going to be brief because we do want to yield as much time as possible to our elders. They have so many, many important stories to share with us. But on behalf of the New African People's Organization and the Malcolm X grassroots movement, we want to salute the life of one of our greatest warriors and leaders, Baba Seiku Odinga. He was a New African conscious citizen of the Republic of New Africa, a member of the Black Panther Party, a Black Liberation Army leader that they want us to forget about, right? And a former political prisoner. His life and legacy is one of total commitment to faith, freedom, and fighting for land, independence, and his people. This is a legacy that will never die. They say that when an elder passes on, as long as his name is spoken in the village, he lives forever. Seiku Odinga will live forever. 1,000 years from now, they will be saying, be Sekou. Say it again, be Sekou. We love Dequi. Be Sekou. And free the land. I meant to have an XCM member stand real quick. Really quickly, will everyone in the Malcolm X grassroots movement and New African People's Organization please stand? Our statement is on behalf of our entire organization. We love you. Condolences to the family, all the comrades, and the elders. Thank you.
Free the land, y'all. Baba Sekou was a lot of things to a lot of people. But for a few select of us, we had the honor to take some assignments from him during his last days. I'm going to ask the Brotherhood, and you know who you are, who were assigned to be around him 24 hours a day, to please stand. I want you to know that these brothers received a call from me. Half of them didn't even know me. I saw a side of Baba Sekou shortly after his surgery that I had never seen before. In fact, his words to me were, "You're looking at a different Baba Sekou now." He said, "I need you to do some things for me. I need you to gather my brothers." He said, "The only thing that's going to get me through this are my brothers. I need you to call these people." He gave me names, numbers, only a handful of them I knew. He said, "But when I go to sleep, I want my brothers to be there. When I wake up, I want my brothers to be there." From the moment he said that, we made that happen. And I want to thank these brothers for doing that. Really quickly, I just want to share for those of us, again, who have been impacted by Baba Sekou, and those of us who are just learning about him, even if you don't know much about him, I want to let you know that we owe him. You owe him. That's right. We owe him. More than any amount of money in the bank can provide, but we owe him. Baba Sekou in physical and spirit form is a manifestation of making the impossible possible. We owe it to Baba Sekou to center our freedom work in the love for our people. We owe it to Baba Sekou to do all that we can to ensure the release of all the remaining political prisoners. And along with the fiery speeches that we give, the symbolic gestures that we make, I pray that our tangible work, seen and unseen, be the measure of our love and appreciation for Baba Sekou. I want to close with a mandate from a comrade, Mary Hooks. Mary Hooks says, this is the mandate for black people, and I feel like this is appropriate for this particular moment. The mandate for black people in this time is to avenge the suffering of our ancestors, to earn the respect of future generations, and to be willing to be transformed in the service of the work. Baba Sekou transformed many of us. Baba Sekou will live forever. Free the land, y'all.
Long live Sekou.
All right, next we have Impact Repertory Theatre.
What is Impact?
It's not a game.
What is Impact?
It's not a game.
How come it's not a game?
Because what we do now matters forever.
Because what?
Because what we do now matters forever.
The I stands for?
Inspiration.
M.
Motivation.
P.
Preparation.
A.
Activism.
C.
Commitment.
T.
Teamwork.
And our credo is?
We are youth activists who view the creative arts and leadership training as a way to develop ourselves and change the world in a positive way. We believe that we must be the message that we bring through hard work, focus, discipline, unity, and the principles of SOS. Safe space, outstanding effort, and service to our family, friends, and community.
Oh, yeah. It's no long walk to freedom. I used to ask the question, when will we be free? Oh, free. But freedom is no destination to be free. Eventually, so don't give me life or liberty. I've already got my own as I continue the journey. Oh,
it's no long walk to freedom.
towards the light. You'll find freedom only when you look and try.
Was a
time.
Freedom was a dream. Many people lost their life for what they believe.
So I will
take my life, stand for liberty. I've already got my own as I continue this journey home.
It's no long walk to freedom. Every day and every night, if you walk within inside, it's no long walk to freedom. In this journey towards the light, you'll find freedom only when you look inside.
Freedom is not a destination. It is a road that we all must walk on. And those of us who are walking on that road have a duty to show the way to those who can't find it on their own. Just like our parents and grandparents did for us, we must do for our children and their children. We've come a long way, but we can't rest yet. Not until we're free. Not until we are free.
We've come this far, walking by faith, hoping to see a brighter day, a brighter day. Lift every voice, to earth and heaven, shout and rejoice. Freedom we sing. It's no long walk to freedom. Every day and every night, if you walk within inside, it's no long walk to freedom. In this journey towards the light, you'll find freedom only. It's no long walk to freedom. Every day and every night, if you walk within inside, it's no long walk to freedom. In this journey towards the light, you'll find freedom on. Put your hands together. No long walk to freedom. Every day and every night, if you walk within inside, it's no long walk to freedom. In this journey towards the light, you'll find freedom only. It's no long walk to freedom. Every day and every night, if you walk within inside, you gotta believe it. Walk to freedom. In this journey towards the light, you'll find freedom only. It's no long walk to freedom.
Impact, y'all. Impact Repertory Theatre. Family, please help me bring with love and with support and with power and with light, Sister Dequee. and Sister Pam Africa. Come on, y'all. Come on. Come on.
Thank you, Impact. I always love hearing your Impact perform. They're such beautiful young people doing the work with the art and the activism. I want to first say Assalamu alaikum. And greetings to everyone. Thank you for being here. I asked Pam to come here to stand beside by my side because Pam has been there by my side when Herman passed. Herman Ferguson, Baba Herman Ferguson. When Mama Yalua Ferguson passed. And now it's Seiku Odinga. So I wrote some words down because my heart is so full and my brain is real foggy. So if I don't read it, I won't get it out. So, and just excuse me, because I'm going to work really hard to get the words out without getting choked up. And thank you for that, Monifa, and all the folks who have expressed love for me, because it's your love that is helping me through this time in my life. So today marks the 148th day since the love of my life, Sekou Mgobozi Abdullah Odinga, left this earthly realm. And still, with the rise and fall of each day, I say to him, good morning, good night, babe. I can't believe you're not here with me. I know it's real, but it's so hard to believe. I used to tease Sekou about what he would do without me whenever he misplaced or couldn't find something, and I did. His response was always, of course, what he did before me. And we'd laugh. Well, the tables are now turned, and I'm the one living with that question. In the months that he's been gone, I have very much felt like the title of Winnie Mandela's memoir. Part of my soul went with him. So many parts of my life went with Sekou. The soothing, melodic call to prayer on his phone several times a day. The sound of his voice filling up the house. Tripping over his big shoes in the hallway. The turn of his key in the door. Sitting on the couch watching a movie and him telling me to stop asking so many questions and just watch the movie. The playful banter on our Spirit of Mandela Zoom meetings. Watching him softly twirl the hairs of his beard as he sat quietly. Or me, him, and Sundiata just hanging out. Before Sekou, I never imagined myself remarried. With him, I never imagined myself not married. But here I am, grappling with a million fragmented parts of my life without him. To say I'm devastated, heartbroken, and weary of stepping out into the world without him by my side is an understatement. Just as disappointing and hurtful has been the disrespect, betrayal, and disregard I have experienced by those who surprised me, would surprise some of you, and who Sekou would not tolerate were he here. Through it all, I have found myself holding tight to my grandmother's words to always look for the silver lining behind every cloud. My silver lining is the nearly 15 years, 9.5 on the outside, that I shared with Seiku Odinga, my rock, my calm in the storm of life. The way our lives complemented, sheltered, and balanced each other, and the promises that we made that our marriage would be our last and we'd spend the rest of our lives together. Sekou kept that promise until that unimaginable morning of Friday, January 12th, when he took his last breath. This journey that I now found myself in is by far one of the hardest transitions life has ever thrown my way. But as I told him, I'm going to be okay. Thankfully, I am not alone, and I have been able to lean into the support, listening ear, and love so many of you provide. Your support has been crucial to nourishing and affirming my emotional, mental, and spiritual health, and has gotten me through many a sleepless night. Like the night I called Sister Taisha, who consoled and prayed with me and for me, and then shared that grief is love with nowhere to go. I felt the truth of those words so profoundly. My love for Sekou has nowhere to go right now. I have nowhere to go to silence, to quiet the deafening silence that pervades his physical absence from our home. Nowhere to go to fill the empty loneliness or hollow pit that lives in my stomach, and no words to adequately express my sorrow. I hear Aretha's song, drown in my own tears, playing in my head all the time. And it's all I can do in those moments to think of Sekou, think of something Sekou said or did to make myself smile and laugh and remember that he will always be with me. I think of his patience, his steadfastness, his principles, his kindness, his sense of humor, his love, and how although our lives and relationship weren't perfect and we struggled through some things, but we were perfect for each other. I think of his comrades who never made it home, those who did, and those I never met but felt like I did because he spoke so often of them. I think of all the histories and her stories he shared with me about his mother, siblings, aunties, nieces, and cousins, some of whom I got a chance to visit and spend time with. I think of us together, and I think how purposeful and befitting the name he chose represents his humanity, politics, and character. Sekou, in honor of Sekou Touré, the revolutionary African leader of Guinea. Mgobozi, in honor of the South African warrior and Shaka Zulu's right-hand man. Abdullah, in honor of his Muslim faith and beliefs, servant of Allah. Odinga, in honor of Oginga Odinga, a nationalist in Kenya's struggle for independence. Conscious, deliberate, self-determined, liberation-minded, and African-proud. Sekou understood the power and significance of cultural identity and resistance in the lives of African and New African people. And he renamed himself to let everyone know straight off who he is. Muslim, revolutionary, conscious citizen of the Republic of New Africa, to me, husband, friend, life partner, companion, my man's man, my man who kept his word, my man whose word really was his bond, my man who challenged me, made me laugh, made me angry sometimes, my man who imparted invaluable life lessons onto me. And to you, he is Sheikh, freedom fighter, humanitarian, comrade, brother, mentor, Abu Mbaba. Most people know Sekou and I were not a couple throughout his 33-and-a-half-year bid. What they don't know is I loved the black man in Seiku Odinga long before I met or even knew he existed. I loved the black man in Seiku Odinga before I even understood what revolutionary black love looked like, felt like, and how safe it would make me feel. So when we finally met in 2009, he was 28 years into a federal bid and had recently been paroled to New York State to begin serving a 25 to life sentence. And I loved Seiku Odinga from that very first visit. Me, him, and Ann Lamb. Not in a groupie or romanticized love at first sight way. Not swayed by his handsome self, legendary reputation, or swagger, even though he still moved with it. I love the black man in Seiku Odinga because I recognize something very special, generous, honorable, humane, and gentle about the man sitting across from me. And that love grew into a heart-to-heart, mind-to-mind, soul to soul, politics to politics relationship over conversations in the prison visiting room, the Shawanka yard, in telephone and long letters. He stopped writing once he came home because he said he didn't need to write anymore because he was home. As Asada said, a wall really is just a wall. And despite the inhumane and cruelty prison life fosters, and against so many odds, Sekou and I developed a level of intimacy that enabled us to get to know one another, discover how much we shared in common, grow in love and friendship. Sekou, a devout Muslim, me, a then practicing Buddhist, both with a foundational belief in the Creator and Allah, a multifaceted Gemini spirit, values, radical politics and perspectives, intellect, habits, idiosyncrasies, love of old school music, spicy foods, stylish taste in clothes. Right? I'm wearing some brown because that's his favorite color, so that's why I have on brown, right? And a love that he and the Temptations sang, and he ended all his letters and phone calls with, that, quote, grows and grows, and where it will stop, nobody knows. I never loved a man like I love Seiku Odinga. And I remember him laughing at himself for becoming one of those telephone junkies he always teased brothers about, because on weekends we didn't visit, we'd spend most of Saturday and Sunday morning on the phone. And I think out of love and respect for him, the brothers allowed him that grace. Right, Sekou? We married in the prison visiting room on June 17, 2011, his birthday. At a time when most people believed he would never come home and was not even eligible for parole until 2033. But we believed in the power of faith, prayer, and the persistence of our work. And on November 25th, 2014, Sekou walked out of Clinton Correctional Facility, and from that And from that day until September 3rd, 2024, when illness knocked him down, we traveled to so many places and did so many things that he often joked people acted like we were joined at the hip. Today, I stand before you with that part of my hip joined to Sekou's gone, along with life as I knew it and some of the relationships I thought I had. I've been reminded how illness and death can bring out the best and the worst in those left behind. I'm thankful the best has outweighed the worst. The best is my daughter and granddaughter, Mogadishu and Val, for never leaving my side, his side. The other Sekou, for never waiting to be asked to come be with my Sekou. Yaz and Bilal, for their sage wisdom and listening through my inconsolable moments. Aiyisha and Effa for their consistent check-ins and helping with this tribute. Lumumba and Monifa for stopping whatever they were doing whenever Sekou needed a ride to the emergency room or anything else. Jamal for coming to my rescue on this tribute. Sekou's cousins LL and D, since deceased, for inviting me and hosting me in their San Antonio home. My Houston and New Orleans family for giving me weeks of refuge. Asha, Zaina, Anochi, Eli, and the entire Baba Sekou collective community care for stepping up while others stepped back, and supporting, honoring, and caring for Sekou when we needed it most. And to all the folk in here and out there for affirming what family really means, not just the ones you inherit, but the ones you create. And for recognizing and understanding and honoring a living Sekou for his sacrifice and commitment to the Black freedom struggle, supporting him across decades of imprisonment, joining with the Seiku Odinga Defense Committee in our campaign to raise money and bring him home, creating opportunities for him to speak at colleges and universities and community events and be paid for it, placing money in his hands, visiting our home, cooking for us, taking us out to eat, driving him to countless doctor's appointments and surgeries, etc. So many of you became the family Sekou and I created over decades of his life work and mine. I speak for both of us when I say thank you for allowing us to count on you day or night, for being our silver lining, and for offering the best of yourselves in our time of need. Sekou shared the best of himself with this movement and every one of us in different ways. His life is a gift and exemplifies for me the essence of 3 African proverbs from a book a Sister Manny recently gifted me. 1, where you sit when you are old shows where you stood in your life, in your youth. Sekou underwent 2 emergency surgeries, was in and out of ICU, experienced innumerable highs and lows, and throughout his 4.5 month hospitalization, he was taken care of and surrounded and shown love by 35 plus multi-generational, multi-ethnic, multi-racial movement folk who became the Baba Sekou Collective Community Care. Not one of them complained or hesitated about spending every morning 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. and every night 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. in whatever hospital he was in. Their care and sacrifice is demonstrative of the belief that where Sekou stood in his youth paved the way for where he sat in his elder years. And a reminder to us that it really does take a village, and we are our brothers and sisters' keepers. 2, love has to be shown by deeds, not words. Sekou didn't just use the word love, he manifested it in his deeds, spiritually, personally, and politically. He showed his love to and for Allah by praying 5 times a day, no matter where we were. And even when illness could excuse him from the sacred tradition of Ramadan, he wouldn't abstain. He submitted every day of his life to the will of Allah, including asking for mercy and that it be easy on him as we embarked on that last December 25th journey into the hospital. Sekou showed his love for the people with his commitment and deeds to the Black freedom struggle, before, during, and after his imprisonment, for his children, grandchildren, and family by providing for them as best he could while in prison, and then trying to make up for those stolen years when he got out. And though he wasn't prone to overtly romantic gestures or public displays of affection, Sekou showed his love to me for us with his assurance that only Allah would come before me, that ours was the first and only monogamous relationship he agreed to, the way he teased me with his, only you, baby. And there was nothing he didn't or wouldn't do when I asked him, including in those last days going on that ventilator that prolonged his death by 2 weeks and a day. 3, a happy man marries the girl he loves, but a happier man loves the girl he marries. Sekou loved this girl, woman he married. Through all my loose ends, fears, the ways I annoyed him, my female chauvinism, as he would say. And he etched the lyrics of a Smokey Robinson song, one of his favorite singer-songwriters. Nothing means more to the woman than a love that she can count on. He etched that into my heart. That's the love he held me down with, that I could count on and feel protected by. I miss the warmth and security of his love. I miss him, and I miss my life with him. At the same time, I feel privileged and blessed that he and I experienced that kind of love together. I thank you, Seiku Odinga, for the love we share. In closing, as we all move forward from the celebration of Sekou's life and legacy, let us think about the kind of love we are manifesting. If it's love for the people and a belief like Seiku Odinga that we have a right and a duty to resist, then get involved in the organizational structure, Spirit of Mandela, Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition, Malcolm X Grassroots, Republic of New Africa, or any other whose principles, platform, and values align with yours. As Sekou so often said, that is the best way to honor the life and legacy of someone who dedicated their life to struggle that you love or are inspired by. For as much as I am overwhelmed with grief right now, I know I still have a responsibility to not only honor my husband's life and legacy by carrying on his work, but my own as well. And in due time I will. For now I speak his name. Seiku Mgobozi Odella Odinga. Seiku Mgobozi Odella Odinga. I speak his name to ensure that we never forget, and those not yet born always know of his good deeds and sacrifice. From here to eternity, babe, I will cherish and remember our lives and our time travel together. I will love you forever and always. Seiku Odinga presente.
Seiku Odinga presente.
Okay, Impact is coming to do one more number, but before that happens, I want to read gratitude and acknowledgements. Brother Kevin Casey Matthews, Bullwhip, and the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture staff and crew, the Seiku Odinga Memorial Tribute Committee, volunteers and security, the National Alumni Association of the Black Panther Party, the artists, activists, and cultural workers, the Baba Sekou Community Care Support Collective, the staff, nurses, and doctors at NYU Langone Hospital, ICU, Rusk Orthopedic Hospital, and Upper East Rehabilitation Center for taking care of Sekou through his various hospitalizations. The folks who lent their human resource skills, financial, labor, time, and otherwise to the days, nights, of Sekou's hospitalization and beyond. The folk who donated to the GoFundMe and olive butter campaigns. The folk who delivered home-cooked restaurant food, paid for Ubers, offered money, hand-to-hand, visited with, checked on Sekou. Isaac Castellas for all the family, friends, and comrades interviews. Kalanji Changa, Black Power Media. Kazembe Balagoon and the Melissa Cinema, Micaiah and Judah, Revolutionary Love Music, Merlina Patterson, Kalfani Kojo Mgobozi Suni Ali, Siriboa Monroe Rhodes, you for spending this evening with us to honor the life of Sekou Mgobozi Abdullah Odinga. Assalamu alaikum. Free the land. Free them all. Peace.
Turn it up.
P-O-L-I-T-I-X. I know you looking for a drive-by right now. You living in the past, we right now. You looking with a brand new sight now. Changing the world with the words we write down. All I see is politics, and when the street meet politics, it ain't safe, we all at risk. Get money, get power, get arrested for developing smarter kids. And when the street meet politics, watch the street beat politics. Making moves so we all exist. Get knowledge, get power, get justice to flip this corruption, kid. Time
Time's critical, see beyond the visual. We are more the physical, see the invisible lie. With a critical eye, one nation under God, we wear disguise. Don't wanna be recognized, wanna be wise. Wisdom of a nation that's 2 times homicidal. Got survivors and American honors,
but I don't see activism in their autobios.
I know politicians hate these lyricists, they like puppets, dummies, and ventriloquists. I-M-P-A-C-T like Pinocchio. No strings on me, language colloquial. From the school of hard knocks and parochial. Split fame like allergens all up in your bronchioles. Stand up, man up, pick your man up. Get ready for a change, throw your hands up.
Politics on the street, same as the world. You rather kill for dollar bills, just on your peace on earth. You rather build your clientele than tell the truth we deserve. You rather cheat your oil like crack, the street words. Be on yellow alert when my mom sees red. Change the sand the same color while her son lies dead. Is that really what oil is worth? The dead weight of my brother while the government be thugging the world? We defend the propaganda while the politicians chill. What's the price of oil rises in their pockets getting filled? Forget the innocent children getting bombed in the dark. Like you forgot the ghetto kids in ghettos getting shot by the cops on the block. And the Crips and Bloods is the same gang mentality. Let's get rid of these thugs now. We can't change the world with a song, but as we change the world, watch the world sing along. Come on.
All I see is
politics on the street meet. It ain't safe, we all at risk. Get money, get power, get a right, get developing smarter kids. And when the street meet politics, watch the street beat politics. Make it move so we all exist. Get knowledge, get power, get justice, and flip this corruption, kid.
Politics will get you 15 for feeding your family. If you from where I'm from, I know you understand. Politics got my stomach growling, doing foul things late night when I'm out trying to find me a fiend. Now what I look like?
Asking for handouts?
Especially when the crack and the gun stay stashed in my man house. I'm looking at my father like he's not a real man. Like the family being broke was a part of the plan. Ain't no justice in this world for us.
It's just us.
And when the revolution come, we recruit street soldiers, so don't get in between.
Why?
I'm something like a general going against the war. The machine, Black Panther, mission, dark passion, ready for war. Call me the notorious hip-hop Shakur. Ready to die, rhyming it forward. All eyes on me every time that I talk.
It's like I never leave the government alone with my truth until we all wearing hoodies that are bulletproof.
What?
Every bullet in my hood is proof. They got us begging for handcuffs. I got my hands up, don't shoot. Hands up like I'm praying to God. Keep me alive no matter what color you are. I spit politics like Nas, Kabbalah. I can't breathe enough, it's too far. Just like 2 cars making an impact. Check this, I ain't interested in political correctness. Pale faces to ravish the redskin, reckless. Rip straight, screw for my roots and rape my heritage. Immigrants in our home more legal than heroin. No employment for our homeless veterans. Overseas turning refugees into terrorists. What's so terrifying is I love being American. Damn, that's politics. Politics. Yeah, that's politics. Politics. So everybody just clap, clap, clap to this. Everybody, body clap to this.
Impact, come on.
Clap, clap, clap to this. Everybody, body clap to this. Dance, dance, do that dance. Everybody, body do that dance. Dance, dance, do that dance. Everybody, body do that dance. Oh, come on. Dance, dance, do that dance. Everybody, body do that dance. Dance, dance, do that dance. To everybody, who are we? I said, I-M-P-A-C-T. What? I-M-P-A-C-T. What? I-M-P-A-C-T. What? I-M-P-A-C-T.
Listen, if you hear the words we saying, this right here needs radio playing. All we hear is sex, drugs, money. They don't care. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. All I see is politics. Who in the street meet? It ain't safe, we all at risk. Get money, get power, get arrested for development. Smarter kids. Who in the street meet? Watch the street beat. Make it move so we all exist. Get knowledge, get power, get justice, and flip this corruption, kid. I know you looking for a job, we right here, y'all. Even in the past, we right here, y'all. Looking with a brand new sight now. Change the world with the words we politics.
Thank you. So as we're leaving, we're going to play the Be Sekou video. And we need to clear the house quickly and quietly. Do we know the receptionist? Okay. And thank you so much, everybody. Peace, love. Be Sekou. Be Sekou. Be Sekou.
Yeah, Uncle Jamal. I told him. This is Uncle Jamal's.
Okay, I'll get.
We'll make sure. I'll make sure. Nowhere without my phone.
Y'all gotta go home, but you know.
Yeah,
Y'all know the rest.